Welcome to another episode of Now-U-Kno. Tito, what's up, brother, man?
Let's
How
go,
you doing?
Hey, it's a new year. We're excited. It's season 3. So grateful about the opportunity. You know, I feel like this year there's a lot that we'll be showing our new skill sets, our new production levels. So I'm only so excited to be able to share this with you guys. And we have a special guest tonight. Very special guest.
Very, very, very special, man. I was actually starting out in the clubs back in the mid-2000s, like 2005, okay?
Gotcha.
I put out a mixtape in 2008, and I had it, promoted on radio through Wild and everything. Mm-hmm. And Orlando did the drop. But I actually met this gentleman.
Right.
In the same club that I started in, the same spot I'm telling you that I put everything out.
It's a contemporary.
I want him to talk about what spot I'm talking about and all the details. That is about 18 years. 17, let's be nice. 17 years
right.
that I've known this gentleman and I've watched him do his job and inspired me to continue and then want to kind of work on a cross-branding idea.
I can tell you this, as a Maxima listener, been following the radio station for a very long time. Even before I got involved, someone you listen to, on a daily basis. I feel like he's a staple in the Tampa Bay area. Not only for what he does for the radio, but also how he's involved in the community and all the events that he's part of. Without further ado, which one I introduce to Speedy Jr., y'all. Make some noise.
Hey, what's happening, everybody?
Welcome, brother.
Invite, man. I'm glad somebody wants to come talk to me.
he's a low-key guy.
You get old and you think nobody cares anymore.
Bro, you can get as old as you think you want, but when you're behind those tables, you're still young, brother.
Yeah.
Fresh.
Wherever I will go to a club or I'll go do a band dance, anything. It would be no matter what DJ name I tried to use. You're Speedy Jr. You're Speedy Jr. You're Speedy Jr. You're Speedy Jr. No, you're Speedy Jr. And I was just like, okay, screw it.
Let's not go against the grain.
Let's not go against the grain and let's run with the Speedy Jr.
Yeah, hold on to your question because I
got
just
a lot. We're gonna talk a lot today. We're gonna
dissect.
I kind of noticed that, so I was like, wait, he talking about the time that I want to talk about,
right?
Like, man, this guy literally, dude. I think the only 2 Spanish DJs at that time that were really going crazy was Speedy and Domi.
Yeah. 1995, I'm out of high school. I already was DJing a little bit. DJing started to pick up. I was doing weddings, stuff like that with my father, stuff like that. It became a progressive thing that it became now night. I was getting gigs in nightclubs. I was going to college. I was considering joining the Air Force.
What? Okay.
But what happened was Speedy Jr. started to take off. So I used to work in I don't know if you remember, a club used to be called Club Atlanta. Right now on Kennedy, it's like a business center or something like that.
Yeah, I heard.
Same corner.
I heard about that.
Well, it was one of my very first nightclub gigs by myself.
Okay.
That I did a Latin night for. Okay. From there, I hooked up with, in college, we're going to ACC. 13th
Shout
grade.
out to ACC.
13th grade.
Shout out to ACC. I went there too, by the way.
I hooked up with a gentleman, a good friend of mine. He's like a brother to me now. But I hooked up with him and another gentleman. His name was DJ N.U.K.
Okay.
DJ N.U.K. He used to do the morning show at 92.5. He worked in New York City in La Calle. He had a syndicated reggaeton show. But before that, we worked together here in Tampa. And I was following a trend that was happening in Puerto Rico called Reggaeton. And I was interested in it because my father always told me, you need to support. I always liked hip hop and artists. And, it's cool. He's like, yeah, you like the, hip hop music. It's great. But you need to support artists that are Latino that are doing that.
He gave you the key.
So people started telling me about reggaeton, and I started going to the record stores and buying the old Playero mixtape because that's when the CDs were starting to come to the United States.
Yeah,
and you could buy the Playero mixes. Before it was Playero 37. It was literally called MC Nonstop Reggae.
Okay.
So if I wanted to play a track from that CD, I'd have to find it, search
Yeah.
for it, and remember that.
I remember
at
that.
1934
At the
Yeah.
minute and seconds.
as the
Yeah.
song that I want to play.
And you
Because
had to
was literally
hold
a
it
mix.
for about a minute and a half just to
It's
get
not-
to
it's-
that
We don't have none
19.
of the technology that we have now.
Okay.
You know? I hooked up
man.
with N.U.K, and we were like, man, we need to get. I was already doing Latino nights. I started working out. I remember a club called Patrick's Beach Club.
Okay.
It's actually used to be on the corner. Oh, we're talking about nightclub, Tampa Bay nightclub history right now.
Yeah.
That I lived a little bit of. Patrick's Beach Club, Turbulence, before Fuel. I did so many. All kinds of Casablanca, which was it's
Yeah,
still
I
there.
remember.
Centro Asturiano,
Okay.
the white building there.
Yeah.
It used to be a teen club, and it was a Latin night on Saturday night. All the because it was they made it a family club, but because it
Yeah.
was a family club, they would let underage
You
people
can't-
in there on a Saturday night.
A business strategy, you know.
Strategy,
Nothing
yeah.
to let.
And that was their business strategy. And that was the first one, the popping Saturday night, because
Okay.
we were kind of still out of high school. We used to party at Casablanca,
Okay.
and that was
The
where we
spot.
wanted to go and bring our idea of introducing a little bit of reggaeton to the party. We sat down in N.U.K's mother's living room with a sampler. Remember the old 404 SP 404 sampler? We would sample our reggaeton beats, stuff like that. Yeah, we're gonna go over there. We're gonna play this and we're gonna play that. Literally to do like a little 10-15 minute set of reggaeton. We had like a master plan. We're gonna go guest DJ this Saturday at Casablanca, because they already knew me to play salsa, merengue, bachata. But we're gonna ask, hey, listen, can we try to do a little reggaeton set? I think that people will like it. So we convinced the guy, the head DJ or whatever, the night. Oh yeah, go ahead, yeah, sure. The songs, they're pretty hot in the street right now. Okay, give it a shot. And then from little bit, just doing it a little bit at Casablanca, was a little bit more somewhere else, where it was going to Patrick's Beach Club, doing a little bit more there, then N.U.K actually getting a job on commercial radio, and all the commercial radio was around 680 a.m., all the Spanish stations. He got a radio show. Well, we paid money to get a syndicate, one of those broker times, to do a reggaeton show on one of the AM stations.
Okay.
From there, he actually got on the radio on a real job, to where he was on the one radio and I was on the competing radio station, to bigger nightclubs. It just became a trend. It was growing. We were growing with the boom of the reggaeton era.
Right.
Because we knew how to play the music,
Of course.
and we knew the artists, and we were in touch with what we were playing. We all grew together with the genre, where before Sky, okay, early 2001 is the boom. We transitioned from a nightclub that was originally playing salsa, merengue, bachata, to just playing a little bit of reggaeton again, little by little by little by little. And by the end of that life of that nightclub, before the owner bought the club next door, which will be Fuel, the notorious Fuel nightclub, we were already playing 90% reggaeton all night.
That's a drastic change.
Drastic change. We moved next door to Fuel, to a 1,500 person capacity nightclub. Okay. Shout out to Via DJ. He's actually watching the live of me live right now. He's the gentleman that gave us opportunity
shout out.
for that.
Appreciate you.
He saw the growth and the boom of that genre and said, "These are the guys that I have the right stuff to what I need."
Right.
And business.
Yeah.
Via DJ, Johnny was a salsero guy. He didn't care about the
Yeah.
reggaeton. Personally, but he saw the business. He said, okay, people are coming. People are popping bottles. People are
Right.
buying out the whole VIP and asking for my DJs to play reggaeton all night.
Yeah.
So then it went to the owner, to the owner of the club. And said, okay, well, you know what? Let's buy a bigger nightclub.
Yeah.
And let's make it all reggaeton.
Right.
So then become that. To literally the last night of Turbulence, we moved to a bigger venue, 1,500 plus capacity, probably more. We probably stuffed 3,000 people in that nightclub,
Easily.
because it was a 2-floor one side and the whole big area was a big warehouse no air conditioning, just a big fan. Okay, reggaeton all night. Okay,
Sounds like a good time.
and that's when.
Sounds like we need to go back.
Right?
Ladies and gentlemen, this is something that's not going to repeat itself. Okay.
No, you're right though. Like
There's
that's history,
nightclubs,
bro.
regular nightclubs where you can go and there's going to be 15 to 2,000 people. You got to understand, in the early 2000s, if you wanted to hook up with a female or male or vice versa, whatever you're into,
Yeah.
okay, you need to actually go in person and go meet people.
Yeah.
Interact.
And,
have
you
a
know,
human interaction.
Spend some money and buy some drinks and
Yeah,
wine
man.
and dine people and pop a bottle maybe.
Different times.
That is different. It was different times back then. It's
Right.
not now where you hook up on Facebook or on Instagram and don't get me wrong, there's people there for love of the music. Don't get me wrong, that's absolutely happening too. But let's be real.
Did you also notice the potential the reggaeton has since the early beginning? So it was more.
Beginning, me and N.U.K knew when we were taking the Playero CDs, because literally it was CDs. We were taking the CDs that were coming out for Puerto Rico that were getting released in the stores here. We were literally we need to get these, and go into the record store. Oh yeah, this DJ put this out, this DJ put that out, and it was all, nobody knew these artists, nobody knew who Daddy Yankee was, and very little,
Yeah.
It was, little by little we were introducing this market, this Tampa Bay market, the nightclub market, into the reggaeton sound. Where by the time we were at Fuel, before Sky,
And that was 2001 still?
2001, when we finally went to Fuel, and that ran for a very long time. 5-6 years that we were solid at that nightclub before they finally, because of nightclubs, that it ended. Because nightclubs don't last forever. This is what it is.
The nature of
Unless
the business.
you're like Hyde Park Cafe or something like that. 8 years we were there. Sorry, thank you, Johnny. 8 years strong. We were at Club Fuel with Reggaeton Night on a Saturday night. 1,500 people strong every Saturday night. I don't remember a slow night.
Damn.
Okay.
That's amazing.
Weather, hurricanes, whatever. Okay. Literally from that, and remember that the Tampa Bay area is a tourist town. So literally from that, I was just a normal salsa merengue playing DJ, right? But from there, people were coming to Ybor City, going to a club that had a 1,500 capacity, looking at Speedy Jr. and N.U.K rocking the party. It's like, hey, maybe I need to book that guy from my state. And that's how I started touring a little bit in the different states. I would go to North Carolina, Georgia, Texas, Chicago, even New York City. I got booked for lounges and stuff like that.
That's amazing.
All from Club Fuel. Reggaeton is the pop music,
The new mainstream.
of Latin music now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It is the new mainstream.
Yeah.
And I like to
And
think I
your
helped a
pop
little
saw
bit.
it first though.
I'll say so. I'll say so.
No, but I gotta say your pop saw it first.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It was an album. It was a record store. I remember the first time he told me that. He said, "Hey, that's cool. You want to buy those records? You should get these." I think it was Mellow Man Ace.
Hello, man.
It was a Mellow Man Ace record. Mentirosa came out. Remember Mentirosa?
Sounds like
That's how old I am. Okay,
Sounds
ladies
like a
and gentlemen?
merengue song.
There's a song. Mellow Man Ace. Mentirosa. Google it, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, for all you kids.
Google it. we'll get back
it was
to you
literally
on
like
that.
that. It was like, hey, you should get that. You should support
Right.
people doing Latino stuff. And I was like, okay. And I was literally, then I got introduced to the reggae. There's Spanish reggae. Sorry, Spanish reggae was first. And then all the Panama
The boom,
artists.
boom,
the
mami, mami.
And
Yeah.
they were redoing a lot of dancehall songs in Spanish.
Yeah.
The Spanish version. I used to get the compilation CDs of that. And then it was a gradual effect. They're doing this in Puerto Rico. They're doing a little more hip hoppy with the reggae beats, and they're calling it reggaeton. And I was in love with that stuff. And I was just like, yeah, this is me. I love hip hop,
Right.
and it's just reggaeton is our
Like a Spanish
it's
version.
our hip hop culture. So what happens is that all that music was popping in Panama. I started traveling to Puerto Rico, and then also remember we have a lot of cousins and family members in New York City. They're sending their music they're sending the Spanish reggae from Panama going to New York. They're sending it to Puerto Rico, and they're saying, listen to this stuff, listen to El General, listen to this. Oh, you know what? I like Wu-Tang Clan, and I like I like this rapper and I like that rapper,
Right.
and then it became a fusion, and that's what the reggaeton sound that came out of Puerto Rico. That's what that is. That's the hip hop influence,
Right.
Because you even listen to Playero records now. You listen to those records, you can hear the hip hop breaks in them and stuff like that. And it's they literally what they were doing was calling their cousins in New York City, saying, "Hey, I need the 12-inch of Wu-Tang." Because it's got the instrumental on the back. Send it to me, please. All right, cool. When are you gonna be here? Oh, I'm gonna be here next week. All right, I'm coming with a whole stack of records, and not only those records, not the hip hop records, but all the reggae records, because they will have the dubs on the back.
Yeah.
And that's where the original Dembo sound comes from.
Throughout your career, what are some memorable moments for you, like that stick out to you?
And so when I started, I was like, man, I just want to be, it was like a simple goal, really. Like, okay, I want to be the best Latino DJ in the area, right?
Right.
But then, like, I started going a little bit farther with stuff and getting booked out, in different states and things like that. When that boom, that solid era right there, and even like concerts, like radio station concerts where I'm in front of like 10, 15,000 people. I mean, it's just so many memories. Like, I think the best, most memorable moment, really was opening Fuel. That was like the accumulation of everything that me and Yako worked hard on. Like we were like, yeah, we did it. We made a night. We're playing all the music we want, the format that we want all night, and like getting what we want to get as a DJ.
You know how you said you came at an era when you kind of broke in the reggaeton portion? Well, I came in the era where I broke in the reggaeton versus hip hop portion.
Ah, yes, we did those parties too.
I know. I was a part of it. I remember you being there. I even have a flyer at the house that has reggaeton and hip hop, and you were on the reggaeton side, and on the hip hop side.
Yeah.
And Domi was also on the reggaeton side. But like that's a long time ago, bro. It's like 20 years ago. But like that whole time, I remember me pushing so hard to get the reggaeton and hip hop out there, like that same mentality.
Yeah.
So I actually locked in the Studio Inc. night, and then I ended up giving it to Domi because they wanted to have Spanish.
Yeah. Okay.
So I actually threw over the
Studio
Inc.
See, I didn't know that. See, yeah,
and
that was very important to Domi's
I
career.
know it was,
Studio Inc.
and I was like, but after that, him and I had so close a relationship that he was like, "Hey, I got Nano," and I was like, "Well, send him my way. I'm at Sky doing hip hop on the side on Thursdays and Fridays," and so it just became a whatever you got, send him this way, and even Grimy. Like I met Grimy through Domi, which his name now is different. So I'm sorry,
sorry, Grimy.
Yeah, my bad, brother. I was just we're in the time frame, okay? We're not
chronologically
talking about
in the
Tampa
new
Bay
age.
nightclub history here.
Yeah,
right?
we're
At
doing
least,
history talk, so we
bit.
can't talk new with the history. We gotta stay in the history
I
talk.
forget his name, Jay Swift. I don't know what it's called. I never recall. He had a new name. Somebody told me his new name, and I completely forgot it. I'm sorry, Grammy.
You shouldn't have said it then. You don't know.
I wanted to.
Hey, sorry, Grammy.
It was. Like,
I'm gonna keep saying
it was
Grammy
firing
because
like a
that's
spark in my brain, and it fizzled out.
because I got to bring it back to the day. Like, this was at the time where I was also in college, and so I'm DJing like 4 or 5 nights a week, and I had Pitbull come by. Like, I got to thank Chris John, because without Chris John, I wouldn't have done all the birthday bashes.
Right.
So I was able to link up with all the artists and get my contacts and stuff. So when Pitbull would come by, he'd hit me up. I hit him up. We'll link up. He had a spot at Studio Inc. He was gonna do a concert, and then he had an after party there.
Yep.
So I said, "Yo, Grimy again. Sorry, brother. I don't know your new name." I said, "Yo, what's up, man? I got Pitbull over here." He said, "What's up, man? Come through." So he came through, and we was chilling with Pitbull, and then he went with me to my cousin's apartment afterwards.
Right.
And my homies was there chilling, and I was like, "Yo," I told my homies to come through with me, but nobody thought I was gonna go meet Pitbull. Right? It's like, I said, "Yo, I'm just gonna go link up with him real quick and have a drink or two. Who trying to go to the club? Like, I ain't gonna buy no bottle or section. They be trying to chill and hang out." And I was like, "Yo, I'm just gonna do like a walkthrough. Go through for like 30, 45 minutes and chill for a second. Who wanna come through?" They was like, "Nah, I'm chilling." Everybody was chilling and smoking and just doing their thing, right? So I come back with Grimy, and it was like, who's this? yo, shout out. I just met him. Yo, Domi put me on to him, blah, 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 blah. But I put him on to all my peoples and I brought him, it was
networking.
The moment I met him, I said, yo, let's go, homie. You know what I mean? Ride with me. Let's go link up with my people, put you on to my peoples. And
a lot of people say how could I work for a bunch of different companies? How could I work for a bunch of different companies and stuff like that and be, I say, well, I kind of work for Speedy Jr. because I work here in Beasley Media and I work in 92.5 Maxima as a DJ. I'm on the air as Speedy Jr. I work on, program the music a little bit of music directing, a little bit of mixed show coordination. It's all Speedy Jr. related. I work part-time at Guitar Center. I left. I worked there for 2 years. I left for like 6 years. I came back recently to help my friend who's the store manager at the local one here. But I mean, because I love to talk tech, gear, DJ equipment, speakers. It's Speedy Jr. related.
Of course.
I just happen to have another employment at Guitar Center, but it's Speedy Jr. related. I still continue doing weddings, quinceañeras, stuff like that, and I've been doing that for years, ever since my father decided he didn't want to do it no more, and I kept doing it. And that's my little business. That's also Speedy Jr. related, of course, plus the nightclubs that I still do. I still play a couple places regularly. I still get called once in a while to go play in Orlando, sometimes Miami, sometimes events, sometimes even stuff out of state, when I can.
Yeah.
And it's all Speedy Jr. related, so I technically still work for Speedy Jr. I just got a bunch of jobs and
like partnerships.
Some
with
things are
companies.
partners, some things are jobs. So it gives me a W-2 at the end of the year. And, some things are businesses, but everything's Speedy Jr. related. So what I also am really big into is Marvel, DC, comic books, Star Wars, video games, sci-fi stuff, anything that's sci-fi nerd. I mean, anime. I just love I've loved that stuff as much as I've loved music. I love that stuff. So now I even do a podcast about that with some partners here. Some of the guys that were here work at Beasley Media Group. And I even invited Heat to come join us too. He's gonna be part of the team too. So, yeah.
We're gonna do
both of you guys. Yeah,
we're gonna
appreciate it.
I told him we'll jump on the show and do a little segment.
It's called Geek Culture Congress for a reason. It's a congress, right? So it was kind of not really a congress, and it was just me and Tarek. We were the first ones, right? But so little by little, I started, recruiting people here. I was like, oh, you like stuff? Well, why don't you come to the show?
And talk about.
Oh, you like stuff like we do? Come to the show.
Right.
And now we have Joey, we have Rich Ortiz, we have Mika Fig from QIK. We have we've had him here, Alto Games, Mr. Drew Tallman.
Yes.
He's part of the show as well.
Shout
whenever
out.
he's available. Shout out to Drew.
Shout
and
out.
then you
shout
two
out.
gentlemen are of course going to be invited as well. Whenever
Appreciate
you guys
it.
are available to come be part of it, and not only do I do that with the live show with them with the mass people, I'll do breaking news. Like, okay, like we got a new writer for the Batman movie or something like that. Okay, I'll do put the audio podcast up of breaking news, stuff like that. I'll go to the Comic Cons and I'll go to these independent. Always my aunt got, I love her to death. She was bring me to the comic conventions.
Of course. Those are fun. I heard those are fun.
Comic conventions. I remember back now. There's the comic conventions that you think about now. The comic conventions now are big things. Even here locally, they're big. They're in the convention center and stuff like that. I'm talking about my aunt was bringing me to comic book conventions when they were on the bottom floor of a hotel. When you could literally go up to Stan Lee and be like, "Yo, sign me this. Thank you, sir. I love your books." Oh, yeah, great.
Yeah. I just gotta say thank you, bro, for coming by, and I appreciate it because I didn't know half of the stuff that you said.
Oh man, yeah, it's a lot, man. And honestly, we could go probably longer than you want in this podcast.
Well, yeah,
We'll do a second part two.
Man,
we would,
man,
but
'cause
we want.
It's just so much, man. I got so much going on. I'm in a little bit of everything, a lot of things going on now.
That's good, man. So when we have you come back, then we're gonna see the growth in that, and that's what the people want to see. So if they didn't know, now they know.
Yeah, so
Right?
If anybody wants to learn more about me, DJSpeedyJR.com. You can always follow me at DJSpeedyJR. And actually, I'm on radio in Spain, guys.
Okay.
Yeah. So I got on my syndicated show. I do a show La Mezclaton, and a guy from a radio station over there, he just picked me up. He's
That's
like, hey man,
amazing.
just send me your show. I want to put it on the air. I love you. The way you mix.
There you go. Well, Speedy Jr., we appreciate you again. Thank you
sir.
so much, brother.
Thank you, man.
And if
If you don't know,
Now you know.
let's go.
go.